Now that all my windows are sorted out, I think. Just a quick slight adjustment. There we go. So we are following Heidi on board. He's coming around at turns 1 through to 3. Wanders over to the right-hand side, uphill. He's going to take the 90-degree left of turn 4. We're starting to see the times come in. Heidi is actually our pole man at the moment, 1:57.682. And right-hander of turn 5. Of course, the just dash shows him as neutral. Jardier actually pops up in second, with Popsu in third. Leon 4. That's pretty decent effort considering he's missed quite a bit of the season. And he's gone straight in fourth position. Scott and the Mercedes in fifth. That's a pretty decent effort as well. That is Hunter in sixth position. He shows up on my screen. He shows up as Odan, his original name. But still, my Steam will not have it that he has changed his name. So DIR, sixth position, currently in the pits, is actually the Hunter. I don't know how to fix it. But Heidi's still on the top spot, then heading down towards turn 6. Oh, that's committed. That's very, very tail happy. Beg your pardon, that was turn 11 he's just gone through now. He's going to be slight uphill, then the chicane of 12. Wow, that tail is loose, but it's quite early in the morning. It's dark o'clock in the morning game time at the moment. So it could be suffering a bit of cold tyres and what have you. As I come up over the crest, turn 14, 90-degree left, and then sweeping at turn 15. Does he continue to go on for another lap? Looks like he is. Out for the duration, it would seem. And he's going to cross the line. Did he improve that time around?
Half second clear.
Wow, yeah, he did indeed. 57.3. So he took another 0.4 off his time to increase his gap to Jardier. And I'm not surprised. I would think the Z4 would do really well. There's no long straights for the power cars to really get going. And Alexis in 11th position, 1:58.
1,000th slower than this guy.
Oh,
1,000th slower.
Oh, that is indeed very close. Nesterowicz in 11th position. Exactly as you say. We've got a few people now starting to get in places. Leon still in 4th place.
3,000 off the third.
2,000 off of Popsu. Yeah, that's amazing. Jardier has improved as well. He's still off the back of Heidi. 1:57.480. So that he finds himself 1.5 tenths just over beyond Heidi. Andrex has actually come back into the pit. He has opted not to set a time. That will guarantee him starting at the back, I suppose.
Yeah.
Unless of course he does opt to start as a safety car. He's just using the M6 instead. He's used a few road cars before now.
I'm sure we'll find out at the start of the race.
If he ferrets his way to the front of the field, then we know full well what his plan is. There is Odan, or the Hunter, as he's actually called these days, in 8th in the Rainbow Lamborghini, 1:58.478, looking to start another lap. Heidi has put himself back in the pits. So, yeah, wow. I had a feeling Heidi would be strong this time.
This is a track that really will suit cars that go around corners well. There's a lot of them, and they're not difficult corners, and they're somewhat samey. But it just means if you get the setup right and you get the confidence right, you can gain a lot of time. But this is the catch with GT3 racing. Not every car is the same. Every car has strengths and weaknesses, and you pick your car for a season, not just for a race. And this might be the race that Heidi just has an advantage because he picked the car to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. He rather showed us how well he could handle that Z4 around Sonoma, which again is a very twisty circuit by nature. Here is Scott, currently 7th on another time lap, or didn't improve. In the blue Mercedes, Nagram has gone up to 6th. Dinder is up to 5th position now. So again, the time's starting to come in. The Mercedes, 5, 7, and 8. Oh, Leon's up to 3rd. Nicely done in the ACR liveried Audi. 1:57.830. Just over a minute to go, so he won't have time to come out and do another lap. There's Nye.
Yeah. Sounds like a car going past.
Yep, true. It's actually quite apt being an Audi as well. They have that high pitch.
Yeah. That wailing V10 in the back. I always like the sound of that V10.
I was going to say, it's not an unpleasant noise by any stretch.
No.
The only noise I've made no secret of the only GT3 noise I don't like is the Porsches. Now that's a name I don't recognise. Dav200, welcome to you. Also using the Z4, he finds himself 10th, 158.722, 1.5 off the top at the moment. But fair play, nice to see something other than an Audi out there. So it's Audi holding the dominance of the field at the moment as far as numbers, as the Ferraris did last time. And our sole McLaren, Nick Meadow, finds himself 13th, 159.076. It's been a bit of a struggle for Nick in that McLaren. I'm surprised he hasn't changed cars. Of course, we have crossed over the halfway stage of the season now. We're at the halfway stage of the season as the flag then comes out. So, De Heidi, Leon, Dinder, Nagar and Andrex already in the pits. Jardier in second. He's got 2/10 to find. Oh, so getting very sideways on that downhill corner from... I sometimes, because a lot of the corners are very similar, I sometimes lose track of where we are, but that's 11.
Easy to do.
Yeah, it's 11, 12, 13. He's just gone through now that really uphill section. Scott brings his car in. Popsu doesn't improve either. So they will not start any higher than where they are, 3rd through to 7th respectively. Now through 14 for Jardier. He's completing this lap. Does he improve? There's a fair bit of sliding going on in that car, but again, we've seen that before. From our perspective, it looks like they're trying to drift the car. And he's got him! Jardier has done it! 157.102 in the Audis, dethroned De Heidi by 2/10. Very nicely done. Still some cars out there. There is Hunter and Nye, our newcomer, whose name we can't say properly, up into 5th with a 158.155, 3,000ths off the back of Popsu. That is nothing to scoff at all. That's a stunning effort.
Absolutely not. There's a lot of very close gaps right now. 3,000 between Popsu and Nye, 4,000 between Nagram and Dinder.
So we've had 1, 2, 3, and 4. We had 1,000s earlier, we had 2,000s earlier, we've got 3 and got 4. So
we've also got 5 at the minute, unless the Hunter's going to ruin it, because he's got 5,000 between him and Alexis. Is he going to?
He did, yeah. He improved ever so slightly, but that's actually made him 3,000s between himself and Alexis. So really wringing the neck out of that Lamborghini. He will start no higher than 12th. That is our poleman Jardier. He, of course, is under AI control now, and the counter will tick down. And here is your confirmed, when it comes up, there it is, your confirmed qualifying order. When it pops up, there we go. Jardier taking the top spot with that 157.102. Then it's De Heidi. Leon the sick one. Nice return for him. So ACR team 1st and 3rd on the grid. Popsu, Nye, Dinder, Nagra, Nesterowitz, Scott, Nick Meadow, Adalexis, Hunter, Dav200, Bo, 2 Desert Pack, and Andrex, assumedly acting as a safety car, but if he is going to race, he will start at the back.
Just having a quick look at the sector times here. All of Jardier's advantage came in the first sector.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
And from the looking at the rest of those times, De Heidi and Jardier are gaining a lot of time on the grid, the rest of the grid, through the final sector. They were both did a 31.4, and everyone else at the best is a 31.7, 31.8.
I would assume everyone has gone for a similar kind of strategy as far as setup is concerned, as, like I said before, it's just primarily all corners here. It's not a lot of straights going on. So it's going to be... I can't see there's going to be massive variance. Down to driver style, sure, but sometimes you see some people running, low downforce setup. Some people you see running, aiming to go longer on their first scenes. I don't think we're going to see a lot of that here, but you never know. I'm generally wrong when it comes to that kind of prediction. Jalex, welcome to you in the chat, asking where's Storm. Not with us this evening. We only have 16 drivers. That includes Andrex, who normally acts as our pace car, although he's in an M6 this time, so it'll be interesting to see if he races. But yeah, we're a few drivers short than normal, but we still have some very good drivers in here. This should be good, and a few new names mixed in there as well.
Absolutely. There's just looking at the grid there. It's a good looking grid.
Absolutely.
It's a good looking grid.
Not as good looking as you, though, Stevie. Has to be said.
You flatter me.
I do. That's how I got to where I am. I knew who to flatter. Nothing to do with
and it clearly worked.
It did. Yep, and AORS hasn't learned yet. Right, so the customary 2-minute countdown then for anyone to make any last-minute setup changes. Then, for those that are new to the stream, new to this series, we will head down to the grid once that 2 minutes has elapsed. Then it will be a case of a manual run start, and there we go, we're now down on the grid, so waiting for the lights to go. We will be ignoring them. Yeah, keep an eye on Andrex now. If Andrex
one does
he work his way to the front? He does not. Andrex looks like he's going to be racing. Yes, Charlie is away. So, we have Andrex returning for a bit of a one-off race, just to add another car to the grid, and I am quite happy with that. He chooses to start from the back, which is absolutely fine. I can understand that. So, what is going to happen here is Jardier will lead our pack around the grid till around about turn 13, there or thereabouts. They're going to be going at 80 miles an hour, 120 kilometers an hour, so that they can warm up the tyres, warm up their brakes, and then once they get to the end of Sector 2, which as I say is around about that sort of turn 11 onwards part, they will reform the 2x2 line, and they will slow down to 50 miles an hour, 80 kilometers per hour, and at which point they are not allowed to weave any further. They must remain in formation until they get back to the start-finish straight, at which point Jardier may then floor it at any moment he sees fit to signify the beginning of the race, of which we have 16 cars of various marks, various colours. Jardier, of course, leading the way to Heidi in that Z4, held the pole for most of the qualifying session. He will be very, very keen to get on with it. That Z4 still looks absolutely tiny compared to everything else. Then you've got another 3 Audis, Leon returning to the series, Popsu, long-time arch-nemesis of Jardier, and then we have new driver, well, unless it's a driver that has changed name, the Hunter confused us in the same vein before as well. But assuming otherwise, that is, we will be referring to you as Nye or Ni or something like that. The lead Mercedes, Dinda, has had a little bit of bad luck in the season, but a stalwart of early Project Cars fame returning to the series for Season 10, followed by Nagram in the lead Lamborghini with Nesterowicz directly behind. Then is the blue Mercedes of Scott. We've seen him on the podium this season. Not a bad effort by the Sol McLaren of Nick Meadow. He finds himself in a 10th position without Alexis right with him in the blue Lambo. Then it is Hunter in 12th, or Odan as he appears on my screen. Then it is Dav in the next Z4, another new name to this series. And it's Bo in the white Mercedes with 2 Desert Pack and Andrex rounding out the grid. And they are looking like they are forming the 2x2. There they are. So they will now continue that, as mentioned, for 80 kilometers an hour right the way up to the start finish line. And then the race will be underway for 29 racing laps. Now then, another rule to mention, there is a mandatory pit stop they must serve after the first racing lap is complete, so lap 3 onwards on the lap counter, and they must have served it before 5 laps of the race is left, so they must serve that before lap 26. That is something to bear in mind. We'll be keeping an eye on who has and hasn't come in. So now look how bunched up the field is, and look at Leon. He was really ready to get on the case of the Z4, but now racing. Leon then going to get the inside line. Jardier in the middle of a 3-wide, just about hangs on to the lead to Heidi, being forced to the outside for turn 1. Is Leon going to slip through into second? No, that is exactly where the Heidi's had to hang on as best he can on the outside of turn 2, has kept Leon at bay. Popsu is there looming as well. That's Scott in the blue, I can't get my words out at all. In the blue Mercedes side by side with Dinda and also Nye in that Audi. He's dropped a couple of positions. Dinda doing well to hang on to that 5th position on the back of Popsu as well. Everybody seems to have got through, no major incidents so far.
No, it was all very clean. I noticed how Heidi went from being under pressure from Leon to attacking Jardier into turn 4.
Yeah, he's wanted to get on with it. Oh, that's one of the colourful Lambos running a bit wide there. That was 2 Desert Pack, I think it was, that got a little bit wide. but it's still going quite nicely. There's Adalexis in 11th with that second Z4 of Dav right with him. Back up towards the front then. Dinder is all over the back of Popsu, who in turn is battling Leon. Exactly as you say, Stevie, that Z4 is nailed to the back of Jardier, and wow, Leon went very early to the apex. There of turn, I lost track of where we are again, that was turn 6 I think. So yeah, he went for that line very, very early. I beg your pardon, that was turn 11. I'll get used to it before the race ends. Nagrim under a lot of pressure by Adalexis, side by side coming through 12. And that's Dav as well in the Z4. Nagrim's going to lose a position to Adalexis. Can he hang on to the inside for turn 14? And now streaming up the hill. That's Nesterowicz on Nick Meadow. You can see at the bottom of the shot. That's 3 wide. Coming into 14. Impact with the Z4 and Adalexis. They managed to hang on to the track just about. Nagrim kind of minding his own business in the middle of that. He's lost the position to Adalexis. That's Dav that's on the inside of him. 2 Desert Pack in the next Audi. He's looking to do something, and look at that. There you see Hunter in the next Lamborghini. It is all kicking off towards the tail end of the field. That's Dav jumping to the inside of turn 1 to defend. Wow, that was oh my goodness me! That's 3 wide still. I wouldn't want to be in there. I'll tell you that much. I think that was 2 Desert Pack having to jump over the apex to avoid an incident. Hunter came off the better for there. He's got ahead of that 3-way. Wow, Andrex must be kind of thinking, I'm glad I'm not tangled up in there. I'll just wait for you guys to fall off the road.
That was a perfect example, though, of why this track is so great. It really allows people to race. You can take different lines through corners. There's not just a single line works here. You can try different things, and 3 wide through turn 1. Saw that coming.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's quite wide as well. So exactly as you say, it allows you to try different things. You're not forced into a very tight little space. So look at the gap. That's over a second already between Heidi and Leon. So the top 2 beginning to break away. Heidi and Jardier is continuing their battle. Popsu is on the back of Leon, bringing with them Dinder and Scott in the was a little bit of a gap between Dinder and Scott. The 2 Mercedes are cross swords as well. Again Dinder going very, very early for that particular apex there. Nesterowicz is trying to do something. It's He's fallen from 5th down to 8th. Nick Meadows up to 7th, so a good start from the McLaren. There is Adalexis. We saw that amazing battling going on with those guys. There is looking at Adalexis. There's 2 Desert Pack.
By the looks of it.
Yeah, on the back of Odan, on the back of Hunter. There is Bo in the white Mercedes. Andrex is kind of minding his own business at the back of the field there. He was ahead of the white Mercedes earlier, but at some point Bo has overtaken him. Oh, that's close to Desert Pack. There's a bit of a nudge there between. Oh, who's that off? That's Dav. Yeah, Heidi's come in.
I was going to ask whether he would do that, whether he would take the risk, because we've seen him pit early before. But why would you do that with such a smaller grid when you, get clear air?
It's a huge risk. Well, exactly that. He was tied up behind Jardier. He obviously feels like he's got a bit of pace in the Z4. So we've got Nesterowicz, Bo and Dav all in at the same time. Saw Dav on the side of the road. So he may well have had an accident of some description. Popsy then still has got Leon in his sights, but he's got Dinder all over his rear wing. Dinder has broken away off Scott in the blue Mercedes then, so he can just concentrate on attacking at the moment. So that frees up Jardier. He's got nearly 2 seconds between himself and Leon. So the 2 ACR Renaults, what am I saying? The 2 ACR Audis at the front at the moment, the top 2 spots, but Leon's got a lot of work to do to get away from Popsy.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a train behind him now, and he hasn't got the luxury of watching Jardier and Heidi potentially fight. It's interesting for the lead 2 though, because Jardier doesn't have the pressure from Jardier behind, knows that Jardier is already, that Heidi has already made his pit stop, he can do his laps. Does Jardier respond now, cover Heidi, know he's behind, keep an eye on him? Or just stay out and run your course? Oh man, that got him. That's thrown a spanner in the works there.
Yeah, very much so. And this is exactly what we saw actually at Sonoma as well, with loads of people pitting at very different times. Last week it was very much rain dominated because no one knew when the rain was going to arrive at Donington, so people trying to leave their pit stops very, very late. Of course, the rain didn't arrive until the very last. Oh, Nick Meadows got himself on the penalty board. Oh, what a shame. He's up to 6th position, having a stonking race in that McLaren. And actually, that is Andrex. And that's, of course, these guys having taken advantage of people pitting early. So Andrex having a good old battle there with 2 Desert Pack in the Audi. Oh, Dinder! what a great insight there. Oh, he's going to go in the... Now, is he going to go in the pits again? Because
I assume he will.
Yeah, he rather had no choice. He rather had no choice. He ended up just wedged on the wall, and that looks like an unforced mistake. So that is rare for Dinder. Yeah, Popsu is in as well, so he's looking to do the early stop. In comes Dinder. He hadn't been in...
That was a quick stop.
Yeah, so there's no damage on the car.
He didn't get it fixed.
Yeah.
Easily clear of them, though.
Yeah, so Dinder wasn't one of the ones that came in. We saw Dinder actually right at the front, looking on the tail of Leon. So he's fallen all the way down the field. De Heidi then in 11th. He's got a couple of seconds before 2 Desert Pack down the way. There's Nick Media up to 4th now. Oh, Dinder's got his name on the penalty board. Whether that was due to that particular spin, I'm not entirely certain. So Nick Media then is in a pretty strong result at the moment. He would like the race to finish right now, I'm sure, with Alexis right with him, and that is Nye. That's of course climbed a few positions, partly down to that big moment there by Dinder. What's the penalties Nick and Dinder have?
That's the wrong one. Oh, that one?
No, that was the right one. 1 out of 10 by Dinder. I wonder...
That might be an unsafe pit entry.
It'd be speeding in the pit lane. That will almost certainly be appealed, because he couldn't have controlled his speed coming into the pit lane, so... going sideways at least. So yeah, that will absolutely be appealed, so we can ignore that.
That was it was entering the pit lane with style, is what I'd say for that one. That was
kudos for it, but no points.
Certainly interesting. Yeah,
the whole
we've got some side by side here between 2 Desert Pack and Andrex.
Yeah,
Andrex come back. He's not willing to. He's quite willing to get his elbows out, isn't he?
He's not. He may be a guest driver in this particular league, but he's not scared to get stuck in there. That is De Heidi coming up behind them, so I wouldn't be surprised if Andrex lets the Z4 go, as the Z4 does seem to be pretty handy. Jardier's in, yeah, from the lead of the race. That gives the lead now over to his teammate Leon. Scott's gone through, Nick Meadows gone through. So
he's dropping down.
Let's see where he comes out. Oh, who's that? That's going in. It's 2 Desert Pack that's gone in. That's surely going to be the lead over. And yeah, that's what I thought Andrex would do. He knows he's not in the lead battle. He knows that De Heidi
is still there.
Oh, that must have been damage on the car. We didn't see that.
Oh, unless he didn't start with enough fuel.
Also possible. That
was a long stop, and that was an early pit from someone that was easily leading the race. He's, what, 10 seconds now behind De Heidi?
Interesting though, wow. if you bring up the speedo, Stevie, we can see what fuel they have. So he's now on 80 litres. What's De Heidi got? He's De Heidi in 8th, 79. So if he was under-fueled and De Heidi was still nailed to his tail, then De Heidi's in real strong position now. Now to 8th position. Pretty much everybody ahead of him has to pit. So De Heidi just has to kind of run his own race at the moment. And
wow, that's really turned the race on its head now. Oh, I hope we get to talk to Jardier later about that.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have damage. He's led from the start. You know, he's not been anywhere near anybody really, other than De Heidi.
We haven't seen him bounce off the walls. But he he also finds himself behind Popsu as well, and that is not what he wanted at all. Popsu was in 4th when the race began, so that shows you how much time he's lost.
Absolutely, he's whatever has happened, he's not going to be happy about it.
No, indeed. So he's now trying to get away from Dinder. Dinder not getting through turn 10 particularly well, so it's cost him a bit of momentum. Nistero, which you can see in the black Lambo behind them, so he's not too far off of trying to challenge for what is currently 12th in the hands of Dinder. Jardier getting right on the back of Popsy, and Popsy is not going to let him go at all. That rivalry has been going for quite some time. The top 5 not pitting. Don't think Hunter did either. So it looks like top 7 not coming in. De Heidi we know has been in. Andrex is around there somewhere. So Jardier continuing to pressure Popsy then, coming through the last few turns. Onto that start-finish straight. Just under 7/10 in between the ACR Audi and the red Audi ahead of him. Oh, thank you for that, Gonzo. He did apparently get damaged. He hit some tyres, so... Oh dear.
Yeah, on the apexes of some of the corners there are these little stacks of tyres. Stop you corner cutting. It's an incentive not to. Usually when you hit them, they get catapulted off the track, though. But they will do some significant damage to your car. Wow, that's That's made things difficult.
Oh, Dinder looked like he was struggling a bit there, coming through 12 and 13. Again, he's lost, big one, that's 4 and 5 that just come through. So he's lost again a little bit more time off the back of Jardier. So I'm not convinced this track is going to naturally suit the Mercs. That's Nye on the back of Alexis. Again, Nick Mido up in that very impressive third position. They're running good lap times as well. They're all right on that 2-minute mark from second down to 8th. DeHeidi 158, Leon 159. The only other people in the 2 minutes is actually Misterowicz in 13th, Bo in 14th in the 2-minute mark. So that's pretty impressive as well. So, yeah, that's actually pretty consistent lap times throughout the field.
Yeah, we saw it in qualifying, didn't we? We saw that the technical grid, although a little staggered, was relatively close to the drivers around them. And as we've seen, you can take different lines here. You know, not every driver's going to drive the same. You've referenced somebody taking the apex of 13 really early.
Oh, yeah. You lagged out a moment there, Stevie. You still with us? Oh dear, I hope we haven't lost Stevie, he's our cameraman. Stevie! Oh, that's trouble. Well, hopefully Stevie can actually return to us, and Leon as well has slipped into the 2 minutes of us. So that's the top 7 in very, very similar lap times there. You back, Stevie?
Hello?
Hello, you're back. Good.
Okay, good. I don't know what happened there. I was talking and then I could still hear, and then you were like, he's not here, and I was, what? I'm here.
Yeah, you just kind of like, oh, that's Jardier and Popsu. Jardier trying an outside maneuver. That's coming into 14. Oh, can Popsu hang on? Popsu will not want to let that go at all. He's got a decent traction around the outside. I beg your pardon. That's through 7, 8, 9. And Jardier has done it. He has managed to get past his old stablemate. The amount of times these two cross swords last season was absolutely unbelievable. Generally challenging for the win. Popsu is trying to hang on to the back of that black Audi then, now coming through turn 8 onto that short straight through the chicane of 9 and 10. You can see in the background how much time they put between themselves and Dinder. So yeah, that Mercedes is not having a good time at the moment. Misterowicz is lurking there to try and relieve Dinder of that 12th place.
I think Dinder's still probably carrying some of that damage from his creative pit entry.
Well, he certainly didn't get it repaired, so yeah, I would say that is a fair assessment. And so Popsu and Jardier in the 159s, yeah, Dinder 201 last time. That's Nye on the back of Alexis. It does seem like anything is going to happen. Oh, is he coming in? In he comes. So from 5th place then, the multicoloured Audi comes in. Let's see how long he is stationary for. I doubt it's going to be long, but then he did drop a long way in the field. Is it a quick one? It is indeed.
Pretty much.
The fuel man wasn't even ready to let him go. So yeah, that was a pretty quick stop then. Nothing coming for Nye. No fuel, no tyres, no damage. And here comes Jardier and Popsu. Nye comes out in 9th place ahead of this battling pair. Oh no, he didn't. Just I saw the pit marker disappear from Nye's name. Of course, that's just him coming off the speed limiter. That's DeHeidi on the back of Nagran. This is for 6th place then. So DeHeidi has been in the sub 2 minutes for quite a number of laps. He has, of course, overtaken his main rival. That is Jardier. Storm is not here, so he's wanting that win. He wants to destroy the points lead that Storm has built up for himself. And at this rate, he is well on course to achieve it.
It's crazy though that even if DeHeidi scores maximum points tonight, he will still be 10 points behind in the standings.
It shows how well.
Such is the impression that Storm has made on this championship.
Absolutely. It does look like that Storm. He was having a look on the inside of turn 11. That's out of Alexis, slightly further up the road. It's on the back of the McLaren of Nick Mido. These two have been locked in battle for a while. Odan, the Hunter, is about 4.5 seconds down the road. That was Scott you just saw at the top of the shot. He is just about 3 seconds ahead of Leon. So So no immediate pressure for the Blue Merc. Does he come in? No, he doesn't. That is the current race leader, Leon, who is continuing as well. So they're looking to, a less aggressive opportunity there. Less aggressive opportunity? What am I talking about? A less aggressive strategy as far as pits are concerned. Is Dahidi now going to make a move on the inside for turn 1 on Nagram? Streaming down, there he goes, but no, he opts not to make that particular move.
There's not really much of a braking point into turn 1. There's still some braking, but there's not a massive amount. So.
There's no kind of long straight leading to slow corner, particularly. There's short straights leading to slow corners. So he's got to be very, very brave on where he looks. He's having a look on the inside for turn 4. He's committed to it. And Nagram, I think, just let that one go. He was very, very wide coming through turn 4. I think he realised that one was done. You as a driver know who you're battling against. I think Nagram realised there was no point trying to keep Dahidi behind. It was just going to cost both of them time. And through goes the Z4 into 6th. Odan, the Hunter, is the next one in line.
Yeah, it was an easy-ish move for Dahidi there. You know who you're fighting, and I think Nagram knows it wasn't Dahidi who qualified on the front row. And he'll probably know as well that Dahidi made that pit stop. So, Not racing. You're racing with your brain, not just with your right foot.
Yeah, absolutely. Dinda then is on the back of Nysdale. There's Nesterovic, 1.5 down. So he's lost a bit of time on the Mercedes. Oops, that's going to help Nesterovic catch up. There's the tail of that Mercedes, gets a little bit squirrely on the exit of 10.8. But keeps it out of the dust nonetheless. On he goes. There is Andrex. I was just wondering, that was the exact name I looked at. So Andrex a little bit off of the pace of the other guys, but to be fair, I would imagine he probably hasn't practiced for this circuit, may not have refined his setup, and that's Alexis with a penalty as well. And to be fair to Andrex, he's only a second off, so it's still a very impressive performance in the M6. And Alexis comes into... is that a 10-second penalty on Alexis? No, it's only a 1 second, so that would be a track extension somewhere.
Hunter as well.
Hunter indeed. That's a bit of a longer one. Oh, that is quite a bit longer. Yeah, it's comparatively long. So Andrix then getting out of the way of Jardier. Again, very smart there. He knew full well that was not his fight. I don't think he wants to be getting involved in a battle that would involve one of the leaders of the championship. To be fair, he'd love to be up there fighting for the championship himself, but he opted to skip this season to have a break from it. He's been in every season from season 1. Tindo! Oh, that's very late! Very, very late! Wow, that was brilliantly spotted by Naya and Alexis there. So they saw that he was stonking into turn 6 and managed to avoid him, and now the Audi having a look on the inside of the Lamborghini coming into turn 11. That's Nye on and Alexis. He's going to get the position done. Oh, the Lambo having a think about it on the inside. Now Nesterovic has caught up with this particular pack. Lovely four-way battle going on.
Oh man, I don't know whether they meant to do that or not. It was such a bold attempt, and it so nearly worked. It would have been amazing if it worked, but he just went a little bit too deep. And both Nye and Alexis managed to get the switch back on him. But wow,
that was amazing. I would think that he probably meant to do an outbraking maneuver, just possibly not that late. I think there was a possible misjudgment there by Dinda. The intention was there, just wasn't quite executed as he was. If we jump on board with Dinda, he's got a great ringside seat actually for the battle ahead of him. So now coming through 12 and 13, this is what it looks like from Dinda's seat. Now as they come up the hill, the Audi of Nye is then positioning himself for the apex of 14, or for the turning point of 14.
And there's those tyre barriers on the inside. You can just see them just lurking just beyond the curb, and if you hit them, and they've been there like since Project Cars 1, I remember being scared of them back when I was racing. So they're there, and you can absolutely hit them, and they will, as Jade has found out, do you some damage.
They will bite. Yeah, Dinda.
Look how close Nesterovic got into the mirror then of Dinda. That was terrifying.
Yeah, he's only 4 tenths down from this particular battle that we see. And there he is in the black Lamborghini. Oh, and there we just saw Popsu and Andrex just go out of the shot. Oh, that was close by the black Lambo there. That's possibly would have woken the Steroids up a little bit, because goodness me, that was very, very close. Oh, is he going to have a think about it on the inside, heading towards 6? Possibly.
Not
No.
quite close enough, I think.
Oh, and yeah, again, wisely done, but again, Dinder's understeered a bit, so that's through 6, and there goes the Steroids trying to do it side by side. Didn't quite get alongside enough to commit. Now through 8 on that short stretch down to 9. This is where Dinder outbraked himself last lap. Gets it right this time. Through 9 and 10.
Dinder, I think, is really struggling with that car at the minute.
I think
But
so.
he's soldiering on rather than giving up, and I will always applaud that.
Absolutely. We're fast approaching halfway stage of the race. That's absolutely flown by. As they now come through 11. Oh, and the Steroids a little wide there. That's not going to help him in that charge against Dinder. Heidi up to 4th then. He's got 5 seconds to close Nick Meadow down. He doesn't have to do anything too silly to overhaul the top 3. They haven't pitted yet. Whether Heidi's aware of that is another matter. He's 12 seconds from the lead now, and he's still in the 159s. Actually, so was Leon. So, you know,
Leon's pace has not been too bad.
Not at all.
He's been running some really good laps. Considering he's not been here for the last few rounds, he's come back and he's here to prove a point.
Absolutely.
He didn't get into this tier on a whim. He got into this tier through pace. And then he has a wobble, as I say.
you inadvertently commentator cursed him as he comes to 6. Oh, excuse me. Is that what they are? Yeah, so that's 7 and 8. They've just gone through, I think. Yeah, that's the short straight down to 9 and 10. That's the Steroids on Dinder. He's trying to do a outside maneuver. That's through 14 and 15. And again, the Steroids trying to... So it is. Oh, wow. As Dinder trying his best to keep the Lambo behind him, but he couldn't commit early enough to that defensive move. And that is job done then for the Lamborghini at turn 6 through 7. Ooh, to keep it on the road. It looks like Nestorius is flashing his lights. I don't actually think he is. He's either flashing back at Dinder to say thank you very much, which is incorrect usage of lights. That's what he's doing. Or I think it's just the way that the camera's looking from our perspective. So I'm not entirely certain what's going on there. But Nestorius...
He's doing it the last few laps, so I assume it's the latter.
Oh, okay, so he has been intended to do it. But wow, look at that. Nestorius feeling the need to defend very heavily against Dinder. And that's actually bringing Andrex into that battle as well. So the M6... Ooh, Nestorius getting very squirrely on the exit of 13.
You've just worked so hard to get that position, didn't want to throw it away straight away. Dinder tried so hard to defend that move. He tried to get through it so quickly, but he just couldn't move the car over to the right quickly enough to defend from the Steroids. And
actually in the background behind Andrex, you can actually see Hunter and Bo. So, and there's Sue Deserpack as well, you've just seen. So, this, if they carry on fighting like this train could get very, very long.
Absolutely.
There is Andrex in the sky blue M6. Still setting some pretty impressive lap times. So, considering he's not been with the series for most of it. It was a 2:07 last time, so either he made a mistake somewhere or he was jumping out of the way of people, but he has closed in on the battle ahead of him. There is Alexis, who is only 1.5 seconds ahead of Nesterowicz. So if he makes a mistake, he could well be sucked back into that particular battle. Oh, no sooner do I say that, he goes a little bit deep into 4. But does manage to keep it on the road. It's looked quite understeery, his car. It's ones were slightly wide in the exit of 5. So it's just, there's so many cars looming in such close proximity at the moment. Fantastic.
The one that's having a very quiet race at the minute is this gentleman.
Yeah, Nick Meadows having a brilliant run, but of course he does have to come into the pits. He's got another 12 or so laps to do it, so he's done an immediate rush. He's 3.5 seconds ahead of Heidi. 4.7 down from Scott. Last time around he lost about 3/10 in the last lap, so if he's able to find a little bit more pace, or of course if Scott or Leon make a mistake, Nick Meadow is in a great position to do something about it.
Absolutely. There's the top three at the minute are quietly impressing me. They're just soldiering on and running their own race. And we've not seen them throw themselves off the road. There's not been any massive, mistakes being made. It's just solid lap.
Indeed. And of course, Scott is running that Mercedes. Scott's put in some really impressive performances in that blue Mercedes. In tracks I wouldn't necessarily thought he would have done. So we'll see if he is able to continue that pace. As again, looking at the lap times, it's in the 1:59s in the 2 minutes. So it's pretty decent lap times coming from that blue Merc. And Nick Meadow as well on the McLaren. De Heide, though, is in the 1:59.2s. So as you would...
Jardier.
Yeah. Oh, Jardier as well. Yeah, 1:59.2. But of course, Jardier is 11 seconds down from De Heide. So with that error he made coming into the pits, and also and subsequently how long he was in there for, that has cost him a tremendous amount of time. It's potentially cost him the win, but anything can happen as we approach halfway in the race.
Absolutely, and Jardier should take comfort that even if he finishes second today, he will go away from this race leading the championship.
Indeed.
You get 44 points for second place. He's 40 points behind. That actually, still not being here, is going to spice the title rivalry right up.
Oh yes, with 4 rounds remaining after this one, plenty of points and plenty of racing to go. Adalexis still on the back of Nye in 9th position. Nesterovic has broken away from Dinder, who in turn has broken away from Andrex. So that pack is splitting up a bit, but one mistake from certainly one mistake from Nye or Adalexis could bunch that particular pack right back up again. Looks like Andrex is going to have Hunter on his case very, very soon. So it depends if Andrex feels like defending it. Again, he may choose not to. Again, as a reminder, Andrex is a guest driver in this particular race. It's not a regular part of the season, so he may choose not to kind of get involved in battles as such. But you never know. The red mist may yet descend. Racing drivers, not suggesting at all that Andrex is prone to it. Just you as a driver, Stevie, can appreciate that when the adrenaline is pumping, when you're in a racing situation, sometimes the racing instinct just gets the better of you.
And Andrex came into this saying he wasn't scoring points, knowing he wasn't scoring points. And sometimes pride is more important than points. There have been races that I know of, that I have raced in, where I have deliberately thrown away a good result just because I didn't want to let somebody pass, and worked more on keeping them behind rather than going for the overall result. Sometimes you just get that feeling as a driver. Not these guys, I assume, because these guys are better than I was. And they care about points, and they all want to win, and they're desperate to win. Even as Storm said back in Le Mans, he won the race comfortably and then says, "Oh, I could have gone faster, I'm not very happy." they're that competitive here.
That sounds about right. So for those slightly unaware, Stevie here is a pretty big and important part of AOR as far as the moderator team is concerned, but is also a regular in the iRacing scene.
Yeah, that's more what I do nowadays. I still keep my foot in the Project Cars 2 leagues, not necessarily racing in them, but overseeing the running of them. So if you want to complain about something, send it to me rather than all the lovely coordinators who do most of the work. Yeah,
awesome.
It's we're always trying to improve it, and we'll do things differently, and we'll try things, and sometimes they'll work and sometimes won't. We took a risk this season with the mandatory pit stop, and personally I think it's helped. I think it's brought some strategy into play. I really like it. I think we might tweak it a little bit next season, or we'll go what the community says, really. But we like to get feedback, and feedback is if people enjoy your leagues, they'll turn up and they'll race.
Absolutely.
And I think another risk we took, getting rid of the Ferrari for one season.
Banning the Ferrari, yeah.
Personally, I think it's got a bit more mixed up grid, and alright, you will still have some people, there will always be a majority on the grid.
Yeah, completely. But the majority of Audis is not percentage-wise as much as the majority of Ferraris we had last season. So,
absolutely.
So that's what we'd like to see. And at Alexis then, he has lost a bit of time on Nye, but he has opened up the gap between himself and Nesterowicz, who has fallen back into the clutches of Dinder once again. And yeah, you can see the black Lambo in the background, making a statement of intent to defend against that silver mark. And that's Nesterowicz going a little bit deep into 4. Oops, and then wide on the exit of 4, kicking up a bit of dust. It doesn't work like a smoke screen. Oops, that's the tail of the Mercedes getting a bit squirrely. But again, you do.
Look at that sun.
That is
so bright.
It
would be. It's sun.
Has a habit of that.
Yes. It's one thing that doesn't ever cease to amaze me with project cars is how good it looks.
Tis true, it is a good-looking beast. Now, coming back to the iRacing side, I did commentate on Mr. Stevie on the Ferrari and Ford Challenge Cup that happened a while back. Me and Mr. Phil Reed were in the commentary box, and I must admit I had an absolute blast commentating that series.
Yep, but if you're interested, it's now renamed to GTE League. Season 3 is underway in a minute. We're about halfway through with Ferrari, Ford, and Porsche now. It's just as much fun. It's a step up from these cars. This is GT3, where all we're racing are GTE cars, which means they're just a little bit faster, a little bit more aero. You've still got traction control, but you don't have ABS.
Nick Meadows in. Nick Meadows came in for third. There's Jardier. He's elevated into 5th position.
That was unfair. I clicked on Nick Meadows.
It's annoying when that happens, isn't it?
Very annoying.
Go to click a name just as it moves, and Nick Meadows has he come out? No, he's just come out behind Popsu, so he'll be in 7th. But let's wait for the timing to update. So 3.5 seconds ahead, or 3 seconds near enough, ahead of Nye. So that's a really good result for Nick. He's really struggled in the McLaren. Wow, that's Nye getting very wide there.
Depending on how Leon and Scott come out, Nick Meadows could be on for a 4th or 5th here.
Yeah, he's on for a really
good result for him. Best result so far this season was 11th. No, it was 10th. Round 3. Yeah, so it would be a really good result.
Yeah, not gone well for Nick overall, but it would be good to see him with that McLaren. I still am a bit of an underdog supporter, so when I see something like, like we've seen Nick Meadows struggle in that McLaren, if he's going to get a good haul of points, and that is always good to see. De Heidi then now 6 seconds behind Scott. He's closed in a couple of tenths because he doesn't have to close that entirely back in. He just needs to keep Jardier behind, and Jardier is still, quick maths again, still around about 12 seconds behind. So while Jardier is putting in 159.053, Christ, I wouldn't be impressive in these things. 59.0 for Jardier, but that only closed in 4 tenths. He needs De Heidi to fall off the road completely to challenge for the win, but at this rate it's still going to be net second.
Yeah, what's interesting is as the De Heidi's and Jardier's paces and races have come through, De Heidi's pace has been a little bit better generally. It was about 10 seconds behind since pit stop, and since that it's gone to about 12. But Jardier had track position, so without that mistake, it would have been.
It'd been right
it
there.
Would have been very interesting.
Yeah, he's certainly been right there, if not still ahead of De Heidi. I mean, but De Heidi was pushing Jardier along. It did look like De Heidi had the pace over the Audi in the early part of the race. So, again, you can surmise about that one all day, but it did seem that De Heidi was the one with the greater pace. Nick Meadows is staying right with Popsu, and that in itself was no mean feat. So, decent pace out of the blocks for Nick, then currently 7th. At least 3 people ahead of him still to come in, so that should hopefully improve for him, Popsu, Jardier and De Heidi. There is Dinder.
Back to this little couple. Can't leave each other alone this race.
No, that is determination for you. Dinder has been right with that Lamborghini for quite a while now. It took a mistake on Dinder's part for Nesterowicz to come past and take that 9th place, but Dinder doing what he can to upset the balance. And Alexis in the background there, a couple of seconds behind, so not in a position to attack yet. But what were the lap times? 2:05. So Alexis made a big mistake then somewhere.
The road somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Interestingly, behind them, Andrex and Odan, or the Hunter, setting 2:01s. I think Andrex right on the cusp of that 2-minute mark as well. So, like I said before, even though he's been out the loop for a while, Andrex is still right on the pace in the M6, right with the rest of the field.
Absolutely. It's Two Desert Pack there had a tremendous slide coming in.
I saw that.
Just at the top of the shot. Speed is speed, and you may be a little bit rusty, and it may take you time, but there's Nagram pits.
Yeah.
If you're thrown into a racing car but you're a capable driver, you will be able to drive it. You're still going to have to take a learning curve to get back used to the car, back used to the track, but you will still get there. You will have some speed, as Andrex is showing.
Absolutely. I was just about to say, unless you give the person like the Red Bull or something, but Andrex. Oh, that was close. But Andrex is one of these. Nagram so wanted to push them, but again he knew that he wouldn't have been able to push any harder because he just understeered into the Mercedes if he did. I was just going to say, coming on to your point of give a race driver a car and they will drive well, unless it's something like the Red Bull. But then Andrex is a big fan of the Red Bull, as I know from my various daft challenges I've run in the past. Andrex has professed his love for that crazy Red Bull before, so he probably would take that thing. I wonder if he's going to use it as a safety car in a round, maybe for the final round or something.
That would be interesting or chaotic.
He'd do it.
I have no doubt that he'd do it.
Now it's
go on.
No, go on, after you.
It was. It's just one of those things, People will. It's what you do, You can't.
Yeah.
If they put you in a commentary in front of a grid you've never seen, and a series you've never seen, you would be able to commentate. It might not be your best commentary.
I'd certainly give it a go.
You would learn the drivers. You would learn the idea of the track. You would get through it.
Yeah.
It would just take you a little time to get acquainted with everything.
Well, absolutely.
I mean, what you do.
It is what I do. Yes, I mean exactly that. I've had it where, I've been given a commentary job to do through one means or another, and essentially at the beginning of a brand new league, I might recognise some of the names, but there'll be a number there that I don't know, and of course, new cars, new season, different tracks, different rules, different conditions. No one ever knows how the season's going to go. I mean, judging by Jardier's performance last season, it'd be easy to think that he would just steamroll everybody, and that hasn't happened. He has, of course, had a win. He won at Donington just about last week by his own admission. I mean, he was very thankful for the rain when it did arrive, but when it did, Storm absolutely came alive. Well, hence the name absolutely fitting. And Storm pretty much pushed Jardier over the line, so Jardier was glad the checkered flag came out when it did. And Dinder, after that very close shave with Nagram, has started to push back after Sterowicz. He has broken away from Nagram quite quickly. There you see Ad Alexis in the background, so he isn't out of this picture either.
I'd like to give a little shout out to Dav, newcomer in the race. He's got significant damage on that car.
Wow.
But he's still going.
And
because he's still going, he's still setting pretty good pace as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, yeah.
He will be rewarded with points. He
will indeed. Yeah, fair play to you there, Dav. Straight into the Z4. You've clearly had an argument with something a bit more solid than you. But and he's still getting sub 2 minutes, so absolutely fair play to you. Dragging the bottom of that car along. Jardier.
I thought Dinder's car was in bad shape.
Jardier then, still finds himself 12.5 seconds down from De Heide. He's not been able to close that gap down. We have got 10 laps to go. There's Scott in the blue Mercedes. He's bringing his mighty Merc in. It's going to be interesting to see where he reappears. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping an eye on what the pit lane loss is. I would imagine it's going to be pretty quick. And that's a stunning stop. So away he goes then.
Jardier goes through. He should be very clear.
Where's he going? Yes, so 4th position for Scott. Very, very nice. He was about 7 seconds, I think, behind Leon. Something like that. So
it was perfectly timed that just as Heidi caught up, he was like, and pit.
And jump. Yeah, absolutely. So
Not getting involved with you, goodbye.
oh, Dinder's reeled in the steroid in again. So this fight resumes as we see that Silver Mer get very, very squirrely on the exit of, lost track again, the 4 and 5, I think.
Nope, that was turn 1 and 2.
1 and 2. So you're far better at this than me. You should
just as a personal plug, this was the race. This was the first truck I ever won a race on.
Ah.
So season 4, Paul likes to flag win, in the Bentley. A car which I did not expect to go well, but it did.
Wow.
I know. So I have a little bit of affinity for this track.
Yeah, just like me in Silverstone. The not just because I was there this year, but the affinity I have with it. Project Cars 1 Touring Cars League. So the location of my one and only league win.
Win's a win, man.
Absolutely, in the BMW 320. And albeit it was on a shorter version, but it was still Silverstone. Look at that. Nagram is around about that 1 second mark, but of course with Dinder and the Steroid, they are going to hold each other up as they. Oh, again, you see how sideways that Mercedes is. You see there's a little bit of damage on the front of the car. It won't be significant, but it'll be enough just to kind of upset the balance as he is coming through. That's what's that, 12, 13? I think yeah. So now up the hill, heading towards 14, and he will also know Nagram is there. Nagram is closing in to make this fight a three-way fight. And Dinder, whoa! That was a bit of a scary moment there.
So, Dav comes in for a second pit stop.
Yeah, Dav is in then. Of course, if he sustained that damage and still getting that lap time, that's pretty impressive. Dinder having a look at the inside, forcing the Steroid to commit very early. That's going to lead Dinder into an outside maneuver, but no, he can't quite get the traction he needs. I mean, that was an interesting. I saw what Dinder was going for, but with turn 1 and 2 being so long, I don't think it was going to work. But Dinder is determined to do something against the black Mercedes. Now coming into 4 and 5, but that's forced Dinder to go very deep. Now Nagram is getting involved, and just that door is closed in the colourful Lamborghini's face, and that's actually lost Dinder. That's lost Dinder momentum against Nesterowicz and put him right into the clutches of Nagram. And again, it just seems to be corner entry where Dinder seems to struggle. It just seems to understeer really badly for him, and then it suddenly comes good. But it's that moment where he just doesn't have that traction that's helped Nagram get right underneath his rear wing.
It was actually, I think that actually might have been some of the smartest driving I've ever seen from Dinder there. Not saying that he's usually bad at driving, but he made Nesterowicz go a little defensive into turn 1. Now you can take as the leader pits.
Yeah, as leader.
You can take hold the inside line through turn 1. Dinder squared the corner off so he could get on the power early, which then gave him a run into turn 4. Outbraked himself a little bit, as we've already seen him do before. But it was making Nesterowicz think he was having a look into turn 1, whereas that wasn't actually his goal at all. As Jardier is just
he's behind him.
That's
wow.
From Leon.
Oh, well played by Leon then. He has jumped Jardier as a result of the pit stop. That battle is on. Now
if Jardier wants to lead the championship, he has to overtake Leon.
I'd be surprised if Leon held him up, in fairness.
There's 6 laps to go.
You never know. It could well be on.
They've got the same equipment, and Leon's not been doing the worst laps I've ever seen.
No, he's been keeping out of trouble. Andrix then comes in for his pit stop. So that will drop him down to 15th position. Of course, Dav being in again. I think Dav is actually a lap down on the field, which is a bit of a shame for his first run, but still showing some impressive pace out there in that Z4. Is Dav still running?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
He's had another bump, I suspect.
And he comes again. And taking a cone with him. That might be the end of his race, because that's a lot of damage.
Yes, that may be it. But
he's still going.
Made it a considerable distance.
Yeah, he's just started lap 23, so
I'm not gonna lie, that really confused me because I'm pretty sure I looked at Leon and was like, he's on a higher lap, and it's because Dav's been lapped. But I'm very confused.
Yeah. So Dav is indeed on a lower lap than the rest. So Jardier then is really doesn't look like Leon's in a hurry to let Jardier go, and that's 13 seconds between Leon and the lead. So. Why not? You've got nothing to lose. Have a scrap. I wouldn't be surprised if they swap over, for Jardier to take the flag. But stranger things have happened. Leon might need He's been said in the lap times really, really good pace. Of course, 2:16 because he came out of the pits last time around. Jardier is not in a position to attack at the moment, and Scott is 6 seconds behind them. So they're not going to lose out. They're not in danger of losing a position. So yeah, give it a try.
The worst that can happen here, unless they collide, if Jardier doesn't overtake, he doesn't leave the championship, but he's 2 points behind.
He's right there.
It's not the end of the world. This is still a great result if he can finish just on the podium here. It brings him right back in against Storm. Obviously, I'm sure he'd prefer to be leading the championship, but you take what you can, and he's given a massive freebie by Storm not being here.
Absolutely, which... Storm may or may not be worried about. So with the performance we've seen from Storm, he's certainly got the pace to rebuild the lead, but all it takes is one bad round, as essentially this is rather proven. So we will see then how the rest of the season progresses. But Jardier is reading Leon back in now, 3/10. That's what it looks like from cockpit view. Leon going very defensive to the inside line of... Again, I've lost track where we are.
Towards the end of the lap, towards 30.
Yep. I'm not used to it from a driver's perspective. Oh! Wow, Leon went really early. That's 11. Yes, that was now starting to come uphill, so it's going to be 12 and 13 now. Yeah, there we go.
See, you've confused me now.
See, I'm starting to get used to the visual cues from out here.
And then I changed it on you.
And then never mind. all in the means of entertainment. So even though they're fighting a Heidi 158.9 last time around, so he's not leaving anything to chance. He is pressing on. So
I think that's a letter to everybody saying, don't even think about it.
But even though these two are fighting, they're still pulling away from Scott at a pretty decent rate. They're still in the 159s, so that is absolutely amazing pace from these two, and we'd expect nothing less. Leon was a decent front runner last season until he mysteriously changed car. He was right up there. He was, top. Yeah, I think for 4th or 5th or something like that. He was really decent all the points, and then changed to the Cadillac of all things. So that was a very confusing moment in the season, which didn't go well for him at all.
At least he tried and knows it's not to do that again.
Well, yes, very much so. Opted for the Audi. That's exactly as Stevie said earlier. We haven't seen a lot of Leon. For one reason or another, real life gets in the way, and wow, that's very close. Now coming through.
Almost pushing him through the corner. Johnny wants to get on with this.
And Leon's not giving it up either. That's the great thing.
And he shouldn't feel he has to either.
No, absolutely. And there's 2 different lines that are taking through 8. Now on the through 10 rather. Now over the crest, heading downhill towards 11. This surely is an opportunity for Jardier. He has a look in the inside, but no, he chooses not to go for that.
Leon a little bit wide on the entry to there, but it works out. He gets a little better exit. Oh, this is so close.
This is gonna be.
This is what Tier 1 is, though. It's the best drivers, absolutely flat out.
And then you get touring cars, which is this all the way through the field.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. Right, so Jardier then is still 3/10 behind his teammate. And see, as a driver, I've taken part in a few things, and if ever I've been this close to someone, I get nervous and bottle it. Jardier is showing no sign of that at all.
Oh, he's going defensive from
look at that.
I think we can agree there's no team orders here.
I think that's pretty clear to see. Jardier thinking about an outside move. He's going to cover the inside. Oh, he's forced his way through. Tiny bit of door banging going on. Wow, he forced Leon to take the defensive line and then threw it on the inside to take second. Very nicely done.
That was nicely done. And Leon made him work for it, but it was totally fair. And he's right behind him. He's almost pushing him through the corner. This isn't over. Leon's not having this. Leon's quite willing to take this back if Jardier's not kept on his toes.
Absolutely.
Oh,
It was a tiny impact there from Leon on the back of Jardier. And looking at their lap times, they are very similarly matched as Leon thought about an inside move there into 6, but not coming off. But Jardier is going to have to work very, very hard to shake Leon away. He's not wanting to let that go. He wants that middle podium spot. Well, they all want the middle podium spot, admittedly. I mean the left one. So now coming through 9. Now into 10, and there's a different line again. Leon commits very early to the apex of 10. I think that's more just to show his nose into the mirror, but gosh.
Going in so close at some points, it looks like a limousine.
Yeah, the fastest stretch limo in the world. I'll take a ride.
Forgive us for sticking with this one. This is the closest battle on track.
Absolutely. And
at the minute, the most exciting as well.
Oh, too right. And yeah, Jardier.
I love this. This isn't any Massa and Alonso nonsense. This is all right. Well, come on then. If you're going through, get on with it.
Yeah, you think you're hard enough? Come on then, do something about it.
Jardier is faster than you. Yeah, well, let's see.
Yeah. Jardier has just managed to get a decent run then through 14 and 15. It's given them a tiny bit of breathing space. That could just be enough for Leon to not be able to attack into T1. Looking at what were the lap times, 59.6, 2 minutes. So yeah, that would be where I think Leon did make a small mistake in that last couple of corners. Unless, of course, Leon is going to back off at this stage, but he's showing no sign of wanting to do that at the moment.
No, and Jardier can't afford a mistake because his teammate's going to go straight back through.
Yeah,
but you know, Jardier worked for it. He made Leon go defensive, and Leon went very defensive into turn 1. And then it was a lovely switchback and just took the inside. It relied a lot, though, on Leon going a little bit wide, and it worked for Jardier to absolute perfection.
Yeah, Jardier made half a car's width into a full car's width plus a cigarette paper to be able to squeeze through that. But Leon is now about 6/10 behind, so not in an immediate offensive position either. Jardier is just beginning to build up a bit of a rhythm. That's a little quicker than Leon, or Leon may have opted to back off. We will only know if we've got 2.5 laps to go.
I'm going to take a risk now.
Oh, go on.
So I'm going to look at somebody else.
Oh, Nagram and Dinda. So
Sterovich has pulled away a little bit from this one, but Nagram seems to have closed up.
Yeah, he's putting the pressure on the Mercedes. This is the 9th position. Nagram was a couple of tenths quicker last lap around, so only 4 tenths between them. So that could be something in the closing stage of the race. There you see in the Sterovich. Oh, and a very early defensive motion there for the Mercedes to ensure that Nagram is well aware that he will make the defensive move if he feels he has to.
He's been in quite a few battles this race.
He's pretty much
he's had to work hard for this one, which I'm sure he didn't really want, considering his slightly biffed car.
Well, it hasn't really been an opportunity for him not to be in a battle or a race long. He's been battling someone from
the wall.
Yeah, or the wall. Yes, very dramatically. As far as we know, he didn't dance with the wall again. And again, Heidi getting into the 58s, the only person to do so. So he is pressing.
This is just a masterclass, isn't it?
Oh, completely.
And this is he pitted from second. I think that was a. I know I can go faster than you. I'm going to get out of this traffic. I'm getting away from you. I probably didn't expect Jardier to be 15 seconds behind or 10 seconds behind as he was, but
I'm sure he'll take it.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll be quite grateful.
No, he's going to slow down, and the black Audis, the ACR Audis, are back on each other's case again. 2 laps to go as they now come through turn 8. Oh, Leon a little bit wide on exit, but nothing too bad. Last laps, 59.6 for Jardier, 59.5 for Leon. They are not letting up at all.
To Solitaire in the chat, Storm is not here this week.
Indeed.
Big point gains for Dahidi and Jardier.
And Leon again showing a statement of intent coming into 11. Jardier is having to work for every single corner, every A-base, every braking zone again. Leon making himself known. He could have tried to throw on the inside of 12, but not particularly big braking zone. But he's had a really good run actually through 12 and 13. He's less than 2/10. Leon then having a look on the inside. He's going to throw on the inside of 14. He opts not to. Oh, he had to think about it, but he's trying to force his way through. He's trying to do what Jardier did to him to regain the position, but it has not come off. And flash of the lights. Leon's not happy about that. You haven't finished the race yet, son. It's still going. I think he thought the race was done.
It's you know, the teammate thing when they begrudgingly follow them home, but they're right next to each other, and they're just like, okay, I'm not going to go for it, but it looks like I am. I hope that's not the case. But then we saw those last couple of corners, and I don't think that's the case. I think if Leon gets a go, he's going to have it.
Yeah, Leon was 3/10 quicker in that last lap. I think Leon thought that was the final lap with the way he was weaving and flashing his lights. But, again, so close through 4 and 5. Now the straight over the crest. Now coming downhill for turn 6. Is he going to have a look on the inside? There he goes, but no. No, that's impact. Yep, I saw that one coming. He went to go for the move, but then didn't have enough braking space. They remain in their respective positions. No time gained or lost. And still, Leon is trying his hardest to get past Jardier. No team orders going on whatsoever. It's coming down towards turn 9. And still, he's nutting him again. Good grief.
Leon is up for this the entire way, whether Jardier is or not. Jardier's got a championship to try and salvage here, and Television in the chat, they are free to race.
Yeah. Your boys are doing you proud there. Leon trying to get more inside than the track will allow, sending the road cones flying. Your boys are doing you proud there, Luke. And that again's closed right up. I think Dahidi's going to be crossing the line any minute. Through 12 and 13. There is Dahidi. He has taken the win here in Brno. Very nicely done as he threw his car into the wall, but all eyes at the moment on the 2 ACR Aldis. And through 14. And then into the final turn. Can Leon do anything about it? Can Jardier hold on? And Jardier's got a decent drive on the exit in 15. Jardier's going to take second. Leon third. And now you can flash your lights. There you go.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Goodness me. And Scott, very happy with that. Well done, sir. Takes fourth in the blue Merc. There's Popsu in the red Audi. Nick Meadow with his penalty, assuming he is still a second. He's got plenty of time between himself and Nye. A good haul of points from the McLaren. There is Nye in the Audi with Nesterovic in 8th. Then in the Lambo, that's Dav in the other Z4. Dinder comes home in 10th, holding off Nagram. Dinder.
Alexis gets Dinder because of Dinder's penalty.
But
that's the 10-second one that may be.
Oh, yes, good, well remembered. Yeah, so that one will be overturned. Hunter very slowly crosses the line.
A battle for 14th.
There's both.
Both exit.
Has
he run out of fuel?
Speed him on. He's run out of fuel. He's run out of fuel. Two doesn't pack. No.
I know he's got a little. He's just teasing him.
He's going to push him. Is he going to push him?
That's so nice.
Look at that. Fair play to you, Bo. And there's Andres. He's going to join the back of the Conga as well.
Deliberately crashing into another driver is exclusion from the league.
Yep. No,
you've broken the rear wing.
Two Desert Pack. There we go. They've crossed the line. I think Bo actually accidentally overtook Two Desert Pack there. We'll see how that one transpires in the stewards panel. But there is your official classification. 58. The only man in the 58 was TX3 Dahidi, with ACR Jardier in second. ACR Leon returning to the league in third. Scott 4. TX3 Popsu 5. Nick Meadow 6th. Nice 7. 5 aces Nesterovic in 8th. Nagram 9. Nascaro at Alexis. in 10th, with Dinda in 11, Hunter in 12, Bo 13, 2 Does Back 14, guest driver Andrex 15, and Tixbury Dav rounding out the field.
Oh man, I can't get away from the idea that that Leon could have had a few little shots there. Both ACR drivers are ready for interview.
Oh, we gotta grab these two in. We have to.
Absolutely.
Let's. Do we interrupt the conversation? Oh, they were
Absolutely.
quiet. Oh,
No!
yeah. Ah, damn you both. Well, guys, you two have kept our adrenaline levels at 3,000% with that incredible battle for second and third. I'm gonna throw this to Leon first. Was there any point that you were kind of going to do the team orders thing? We'll race, but I'll let you through, or was it just go, no, I want this, because it did look like you wanted that second position back?
Yeah, well, I wanted to win against Yadir, so of course I have no racing experience, so I got nervous when he was behind and made mistakes he passed, but behind again I got back to the rhythm and I could catch up to him, and I really wanted to win, so I was like, I'm gonna push it to the limit, but I'm not gonna do some stupid dive bomb or something, and I touched him a little bit. Hopefully not a little tiny touch somewhere. I'm sorry for that, Yadir, but I really wanted that win.
Oh,
No problem.
What an incredible race. And Jardier, it looked like you really had to work for that. But obviously we saw you in the lead, being chased by Heidi early on. Heidi then took his early pit. We think, did you suffer some damage on the way into the pits? Because you looked like you had quite a long pit stop.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Did you have a little argument with one of the little tyre barriers?
What happened was, I don't exactly know what happens. I was just looking in the mirror in the last corner and I tapped the tire and got 7 damage. It was at the moment the guys went into the pit lane, so I was like, fuck. And I tried to do one more lap to see how big the damage actually is. And I seen that I was like 1 second off the pace, so I decided to go to pit lane as well, at least to fix the car and know where I will end up. And what happened, I was going into my crew and I was braking, and I somehow just released my brake and I went through my pit crew.
Oh,
so
no.
I had to stop the car, reverse, go back, and I think I lost to be honest, I think I lost 8 to 10 seconds probably. So I think the Heidi would definitely win because he was super fast with Z4 today. And yeah, I just couldn't make it worse today.
Well, what a great race though, but with Storm's absence, it does put you right back into contention for the top of the channel. Are you thinking about the championship
now?
Yeah, indeed,
I think I'm leading right now.
Yes.
But I'm happy that I'm leading championship, but I'm kind of sorry for Storm. I don't know what happened to him because he was in a game before the start, and he was on his server with the Audi, so I don't know what happened to him.
He's giving you a chance, Jardier.
Oh, that's so nice for him. But I would rather face him on the track,
His barrier, his safety barrier is now gone.
Yep.
You're essentially near as makes no difference back to 0. And the Heidi thrown himself straight back in the championship as well. So.
Oh yeah, it's triple.
Yeah.
It really depends on the tracks because I think Audi is a bit stronger, but as you can see on this racetrack, for example, the Z4 was a bit better in the race trim. So I'm really sorry that Storm wasn't here because I think it would be a nice fight. I'm just this year I'm just missing the fights with the guys because they usually pit early or pit differently, and we are just cruising alone.
Well, pit after them. The Heidi pits lap 4, you pit lap 5.
You were not on your own today, good sir. We saw your battles that you were having, albeit with mainly for Leon.
I love the overtake on Pop, so that was beautiful side by side for 3 corners. And then with Leon, it was also I was first okay, I hope he will not let me go. It would look bad, after Formula 1 race this weekend. I would think bad. And then he was super AC, and I was like, oh god. And on the last lap, he touched me 4 times, and I was almost screaming here. What the?
Oh, brilliant stuff, guys. It was very entertaining for us to watch, and we look forward to the next one. Right. Anything else? Any other questions from you, Stevie?
For these two, no. Oh, actually, yes.
Ooh.
Specifically, more so for Jardier. Next round is a reverse championship round.
Oh yes, reverse grid round, isn't
Oh
it?
god.
An hour and a half round Catalonia. Do you like Catalonia?
Yeah, to be honest, it's the first track I was racing in this game.
Oh.
It was like my first experience in December when I was racing project cars, and it didn't went well because there was a big accident in front of me. But I really like the racetrack. I just worry about the slowdowns a bit and the white lines, you know. But as we raced for hour and a half, right?
Yep.
I'm looking forward because it's gonna be the Heidi and Storm right side by side with me, and it's gonna be interesting. And I will try this time around to do the same strategy as they do.
Well,
Awesome.
You've also picked literally the worst time in the season to take the lead in the championship.
Yeah, because you clearly were planning for that.
Absolutely.
That was Storm's strategy. I thought I can't go too far down the grid, but I'll let Jardier at least start.
I don't want to be very. I want to be
very last. Now we
in
know.
Indianapolis, I was doing that well because I was starting like 16th, and in like 5 laps I was on the second place, and then I was in the lead, so I did kind of good. But I think maybe the strategy they are using, going on into the pit in the 4th lap, might be better. We'll see.
We will see. We look forward to how that one pans out next week. But for now, that is going to be it. Thank you very much to those that have been with us through the channel. A great honour and pleasure to have you with us throughout the stream. Thank you very much, Stevie, for being in charge of the cameras and keeping me on the straight and narrow with reminding me where we were actually looking on track all race long.
You're welcome, and apologies for the language in that interview.
Charlie,
But yes, it's always a pleasure to talk with you, King-Kodiak. You're a brilliant commentator. To just be alongside you is a humbling pleasure.
Oh, thank you, kindly, sir.
And we struggled a little bit. The grid wasn't quite as big, but we had tremendous battles, and we had a class act in De Heidi. It was brilliant.
Yeah, well done to Podium 3, to Heidi, of course, for the TX3 squad, Jardier and Leon for the ACR boys. And we will be back for more Project Cars and more AOR action. Thank you very much, and good night.